Welcome once again to Power Up the podcast. I'm your host, Delia Chavez. Today, I'm excited to bring to you a couple of special guests. This morning, I have with me my longtime friend, Carlos Vives.
Gracias.
And he brought along his special friend, special guest of ours, Ever Mena, who is Executive Director of Maxwell Leadership. And he's here today to talk to us about an important event that they have coming up. If you are someone who considers yourself a leader, wants to be a leader, or is looking to improve your leadership skills, you must stay connected, pay attention, because my friends today have a lot of great information for us. Bienvenido, welcome, Ever. Welcome, Carlos.
Yes, it's definitely an honor, and I'm sure that Ever is happy to be part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited about this. Carlos asked me to put together something with him, and we come up with a topic which we want to finish the year very well. So we want to lead with intention, and we're going to be talking about transformational strategies for the year-end success. And we want to finish with focus and start with fire. And this is because many times we don't plan ahead for the next year. But before we plan for the next, what we would end for the year that we are currently living. So this is a master class where we are going to be talking about clarifying vision, amplifying influence, overcoming obstacles perhaps still have, and we want to boost productivity and ignite the passion for everybody to be able to once again finish well with a great momentum to start 2025 in a very on a high note, when we all can be ready for the next year to come.
Yeah, and that is Ever. Thank you for touching on those points because that is part of the. As a salesman, all my life, I noticed that we get so busy during the summer, and some of you will relate to this as a business owners. We get extremely busy, not only with work, but we also take vacations, and kids go to school, kids go to college, and everything that goes on, right? So then we get distracted. We don't get enough chance or enough time to make sales or prospect or do the activities that requires to create new business for right now for the last quarter in the year. And that seems to happen every year. If you notice that if you're the person that keep track of all your numbers, you're gonna notice the dip that you take during this time of the year. And that's specifically for companies that are not planning properly or they don't have the right salespeople, the right staff to help them move the pipeline, the prospecting side, in the area where you connect with the community. So that is why Ever and I we brainstormed quite a bit, and we were like, what should we do? And what is the community? What is the community need? And I said this, and then he agrees, and then now we're excited. We're super excited to bring this to Kansas City and show it to our community, our local small business owners that are like wondering. Because I personally hear a lot of them saying, "Gosh, this is so slow. The economy is bad. Elections distracting people, and everybody's waiting after the election." Not true. It's just we haven't prospect well.
Prospective.
Yeah.
So it's basically letting people know that you're still around, that you're here to offer the service. There's someone looking for your product, service, or business. Yeah. It's just a matter that sometimes we take a break and we don't keep spreading the message.
We don't only take breaks from work, but we take breaks mentally. Mm-hmm. So we don't have the same approach, the same intention. And that's why Ever time this lead with intentional leadership, right? Mm-hmm. So be a leader intentionally. Be a person that is proactive and not reactive. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So for the people who attend this event, what is the expectation?
Figure where do they want to go? What obstacles are in the way, and how so they can paint a picture as how would they know when they got to the end point that they want to go. So basically 5 questions, where are you, where do you want to go, how are you going to get there, what's in the way, And how would you know you got there? And those things is five basic things: strategy, obstacles, and results. And that's very important for us to not only finish the year, but to start once again strong.
And Belia, that brings us back to the intentional leadership, right? So some of us may say, well, the election is killing my business, because that is exactly what everybody's blaming right now, the election. Because people think that everybody's focused on the election, and it's not true. Very small numbers focused on the election. The people that is focused on election is the people that has a need or is making a living out of the election. But everybody else is back to work day. It's everyday work day. But yes, we do get distracted with the vacation time. We get distracted with right now the NFL is back to play. The Royals are in a postseason. That kind of things distract us, because that is happening right here locally in our community. And our kids go back to school. Kids go back to college, or for the first time in college. Throws off budgeting. You budget, maybe you didn't budget properly. So it's the little things, it's not the big things. The little things is what is throwing us off.
And then we're planning the Christmas party, we're planning the New Year's party, we're at work, we're sitting there looking at Christmas shopping instead of looking at prospects. Correct. So definitely our mind
all those
shifts.
type of things are the ones that are actually distracting our small business owners. And the reason why I said is because that I had lived that all for the past 25 years. I seen it where we had a fantastic, everything was going well, and all of a sudden comes August, and there's vacation time. Kids back to school, go planning for college. People is remodeling their house, is doing the last few projects before the winter, and all that little stuff. It says that if you want to take a vacation, it actually you take 7 or 10 days of vacation, but those 7 days of vacation in reality costs you 3 weeks out of the month.
Really?
Yes.
Planning for it.
Planning, your mind is not in the game, your mind is not in it, you are distracted, you are somewhere else already. And that happens to in all different levels.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. So I'm excited about this conference. It's going to be Saturday morning on October 19th from 8 a.m.
Yes.
to 1 p.m., correct?
No, to 11:30.
To 11.
I'm sure the cigar shop is going to be hosted at one of the premium cigar shops locally here at the Strawberry Hill in KCK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just gotta let people know to be ready, because the first thing that we want to greet you with is chilaquiles.
Oh, nice. Eggs, I'm there. Sign me up.
And, everything is the lady. Then it's a mom. She says she's gonna make it original, authentic to the Mexican style breakfast, where you're gonna have the chilaquiles, the eggs, the beans, the cream, the sour cream, and the cheese, avocado. And then we'll have our friends from Plex Capital. They are sponsoring the coffee and also mimosas. And then we're also going to have a unknown cook that's going to cook us delicious baking goods like cookies and brownies and all that type of stuff. So we'll have a loaded breakfast, so we can have a full energy to listen to Ever, Mena, and of course myself.
Excellent. And it's so true what you guys mentioned earlier about measuring.
Yes.
It's important in every aspect of our lives to measure results. And it's important because sometimes we feel like we're not seeing the results because they're not tangible yet. But a lot of times the results are there. We're just not able to see them until we go back and actually look at the numbers. And we're like, oh, okay, it made a difference. And I can attribute this or use as an example someone who's managing diabetes, and I'm going to put myself out there because I've been I've been managing my blood sugar for several years now, and my doctor kept saying, you need to, control your sugar. She kept giving me medicine, but the medicine just wasn't working. It was just like something to sugarcoat it, but the medicine had an adverse effect on me, so it was making me sick. And so the medicine wasn't working, and I wasn't making the lifestyle changes that I needed to make to see a change. So, when I would check my blood sugar, obviously my A1C was just getting higher and higher and higher and higher. And so I decided to start taking track of my blood sugar every day. So for a few weeks, all my fingers were kind of purple. But I was in the morning taking my blood sugar, after I ate breakfast, taking my blood sugar. 2 hours later, taking my blood sugar. After lunch, checking my blood sugar. After dinner, I was consistently checking after every meal, after certain time frames, my blood sugar. And I started to see which foods were elevating my glucose and which foods didn't have that much impact. So the fact that I was measuring allowed me to see that the foods that I thought were not, that were good, that they were not having an impact, they were having a worse impact than I could even imagine. So by just measuring every day, I was able to be aware of those foods that were not good for me, and I started making changes. I started changing my diet. I started feeling better, and it took a while because it's not like my blood sugar just dropped overnight. Like it took me months to get my blood sugar to where I needed it to be, and it also took months for me to see the physical results, how I felt physically, how could people could see me physically. You know, my cheeks got a little slimmer, and it was all because I decided to start taking action and track and measure and move towards the results. So it is very important to track and measure. You think it's not, but definitely it is.
Ever you have any comment on that?
No, I think that's great. And that goes back to what I'm talking about, the awareness. If you don't know what you need to change, then you would not know where to even start. So that's why, and that's what most I teach, the law of awareness is to be able to identify where you are. And then once where you know where you are, then you know how to set goals for yourself. Then you know where to go. I remember when I was in college, one of my friends called me one time and he said, it was 2:45 a.m. And they, hey, Ever, can you come pick me up? And the first question I asked him was, where are you? And he said, I don't know. It's because he was very drunk, so he didn't know where he was. And so I was just asking, okay, well, give me some clues of places where you are, because I cannot go get you where you are if you don't tell me, the location. So for ourselves, like it's very important because we need to know where we are. That way we can design the roadmap to where we want to go. And this is another thing. You cannot change or grow anything that you don't measure.
That's true.
That's true.
And the change is important. Sorry that I couldn't, but it goes back to saying, like, if you keep doing the same things, you're gonna keep getting the same results. So you need to see what's causing those results so that you can implement those changes.
And definitely, in my situation, being in sales all my life, I'm the individual that track absolutely everything, phone calls, handshakes, and everything. I mean, I was to a point where I was micromanaging absolutely everything, and I got to know exactly. I always said to the people that I mentor, I said, I'm gonna show you where the crystal ball is at. They're like, they thought it was up there already in front of the customer. So the crystal ball is right here on this little graph. And this graph point out every single day in my activity, what I did every single day to make my day productive, and what are the things that I did not do, and the things that I did, and the things that I did well. And sometimes we do activities, and that is when you see a sport athletes, right? We see athletes. We're not gonna name one that has been having rough time with the Chiefs, but Kelsey. But anyhow, is we are there physically, but we're not there mentally. And when you're not being intentional about your gameplay, your game day, and your play, then it's when you don't make a sale. It's when you don't make a close. It's when you don't make the right impression on people. It's when you don't, let's say I have a meeting on my office, but if I'm not present there mentally, I can have the meeting, but it's not going to mean anything. The message is not going to mean anything to my staff, because they're going to notice that I was disinterested, right? So I was not intentional, and that is what we're going to be talking about the 19th, about bringing out all those awareness to the community and making sure that they understand what is being intentional really means. And Ever is a man of man of God, and he's very dedicated to his career. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fantastic presentation for the community, and to also being at a cigar shop. The cigar shop owner said that he's going to allow people to have fun and smoke a cigar, be relaxed, take notes, and just picture this. You're going to have a big leather couch where you can sit and take notes and just hang out with your friends as you listen to great advice that will prepare you for the next 90 days and get you set up to start a strong 2025. That is my only intention here, and ever is the same. We are all tuned up to make sure that you have the best experience. It will be 3 hours of full workout.
This is great information. I can't wait. This is so exciting. This is going to take place October 19th at 8 o'clock a.m. at 407 North 6th Street, Kansas City, Kansas 66101 at Kansas City's premier cigar shop. For people who want more information, where can they go register?
Well, I have a link going on in Facebook, and I will repeat that link back up. I will repost it maybe by the end of the week. If you didn't catch any of this, just look at put them on your calendar first. Put them on your calendar. That's where it starts. That way, it makes sense. It hits your brains once you put them on the calendar. For October 19th, it's a Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful Saturday morning. We'll get up and don't eat anything at home. Don't even drink coffee. Just get up, grab a piece of paper and a pen, and drive yourself to the Shop Cigar Lounge, which is on 6th and Central Avenue, on the area that's called Strawberry Hill, historical area in KCK. Yeah, we'll be there eager to greet you with coffee, mimosas, and breakfast, and just be ready for you. Also, be ready, you're going to be meeting at least 30 or 40 other business owners. So, bring business cards because you have a chance to network with these people and talk about the same thing that you are struggling with. What are you doing? And how am I doing? And what are you going to do different? And what am I going to do different? How can we network together? And how can we improve our businesses? And we're going to be encouraging that to you as well during the day. As you all know, I'm a salesman. I was born that way. I love that stuff, and I will be challenging you to do better for the next 90 days. That way, you can start a strong 2025.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you to Evan, who was with us earlier, sharing wonderful information about this event. Thank you all for tuning in, and see you guys next time here on The Power Up.